Hello. So, just had the fucking excellent idea of becoming a blogger as I'm halfway around a 8-mile walk in the Weir Valley. Started at the mill, or the Domain, I think it's called, the Domain Mill in Walsingham. Walked up via kind of Tunstall Beck over the tops to Tunstall Reservoir. I'm currently there now, just on the northern bank, I believe. It's a little bit rocky, so I might fall over and this video might get cut short, but I don't know, I just thought it would be a good start. I've always kind of wanted to do something like this. Never really knew what I would talk about or if anyone would watch, but maybe I'll just use it to document some little adventures I get to go on. So I'm here with a dog. It's called Lola. If it's gonna let me flip the camera. No, it's not. There she is. Hey doggy. And like I say, I'm on the northern banks of Tunstall Reservoir, just outside Walsingham. And yeah, an absolutely glorious day, as you can tell. It's absolutely pissing it down, but there's nothing better. I really mean that. It's not some kind of me claim for attention thing. It's the peace and quiet, it's the serenity, you know, being able to just walk through the woods and not bump into people, and walk across farmland and just take in the sights and sounds. Seen a couple of deers just as I started the walk. Actually, it's closer to Walsingham than up here in the fells, I suppose you could say, but a couple of deer, a couple of water voles. It's been a lovely little start. Got about 3 or 4 miles left, let's say, along these paths. Come off out of this woodland and you get to the gates of the reservoir and watch it tumbling down the Weir Valley. It's beautiful. It's just genuinely one of the most gorgeous places in the northeast, and I would put my hat on the line and say probably my favourite walk of all time. You know, starting in Walsingham, taking in the quaint little village where I went to school, or is it a town? I'll have to get back to you on that one. Grew up in Walsingham, worked in the working men's club down there, probably honed my, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a skill, I would say it's more of a masking ability to talk to people, hold a conversation with people from any demographic, any age, any gender. You know, you just get lots of characters. Some people you'd probably rather not associate with, and others who are very wise, have got lots of knowledge to pass on. Most of my family used to live in Walsingham, but don't really anymore. My cousin Sophie, Mark and her 2 girls, Ellie and Leah, live here now, but that's about it. Used to be the hub of the Wrights and the Blackies. We've all kind of drifted away. I think it's one of those, isn't it? You always kind of yearn to go back to the places you grew up in. In these woods, I used to walk my grandma's, it was on my Auntie Sue's dogging, or dogs, Zorro and Jet and India, if I was feeling brave, because the 2 huskies and a black lab. That was when I was a little bit younger, a little bit fitter, a little bit, I don't know, more carefree, just go out and do stuff. It's the first time in ages I've been able to do this. Obviously, got a son now, George. He's two just before Christmas. We've had an absolutely amazing Christmas. Seen everyone, done everything. Seen Anna's family, which was lovely, on Christmas Eve. Seen a granddad who's battling stomach cancer right now and he's doing a fucking amazing job. Mum, her dad, sister, nieces and nephews, our aunties. Christmas Day got to see all my family, which was gorgeous. First time in a long time being able to do that. Even saw my mum. Went out for some food, which was a bit of a disaster. There's a story to tell there. I'll not name and shame the pub. Not really their fault. It was a staffing issue. The 2 people called in sick on the morning of Christmas. But you know, when you sat there for a meal that you've already paid for, a good amount as well, and it's 60 quid per person, adult anyway. And, you know, you've got a 2-year-old that's starving, a little bit ill, a little bit mangy, kicking off. And you get 2 starters out of 5, and then they get left on your table for 45 minutes. And you never get the rest. You go up to the bar and say, "Where's my starters? I'm up for a bloody prawn cocktail, man." Never materialises. The mains come out, and albeit they were lovely bit of turkey, swede, mash, parsnip, gorgeous. The food was lovely. I really cannot complain, but aye, just the chew of it all. I mean, that's the first time I've ever had Christmas dinner out. I don't think I'll be doing it again in a hurry. So I think vlogging's what you make of it, isn't it? I've got lots on my mind at the minute, work-wise, family-wise. Anna's at work currently. My dad's looking after George. I don't really. I think it's our own fault. Fault's not really the right way to say it. More just by coincidence or circumstance. I don't really get all that much time to do stuff. Just me or just Anna or just me and Anna. And I love it. But, you know, sometimes. And I'm not going to be made to feel guilty for this, because I love George dearly, but sometimes you just want to, you know, go and walk for 8 miles and take in the sights and sounds and just the peace. You know, I'm absolutely drenched and wet through, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been absolutely stunning. Lola's loved it. She's kind of fallen down the pecking order over the last year or so. It's gotten harder to motivate yourself to walk her on a morning and on a night. Obviously you do the bare minimum and keep them alive, but you know, I think you really do understand the commitment of pets when you've got kids as well. Because suddenly they take up so much of your time and your capacity that pets do just naturally fall down the pecking order. But that's why it's so nice to spend the day with just the dog, Lola, and she can enjoy it. I think she has. She's probably knackered, like. Lola, are you tired, hon? We had a nice little picnic before, just on the other side of the reservoir where them trees are. You probably can't see. shared a sarnie with her. You can't beat it, man. It's just the best. This kind of day is my dream, and I'm so lucky because as much as Anna doesn't really like it, you know, I've got all of this to come with George. Show him all these trails that I know. Get out on the Wainwrights. Take him up the Yorkshire Three Peaks, Rosebery Topping. I've just got such a love and appreciation for the outdoors, and just being able to really breathe it in. I think across my kind of age range, I'm 30 this coming up next year, people are starting to kind of peel away from what we used to do as kids. I see it on social media, and I know it's not a good medium for gauging social norms and constructs, but I see a lot of people kind of enjoying the outdoors now, and it's just the best, you know, getting out of those habits of just going out and getting pissed every weekend, and yeah, your priorities just change and you find fun in other ways. I mean, just on that one, you know. Sorry, this is a real ramble, but what's vlogging for, eh? Drinking, yeah. I just don't do it anymore. Don't get me wrong, I like a drink. I really do. But I don't know, what you feel afterwards is just, it's really just not worth it. I mean, I've got a great job. I absolutely love my job. It's well paid. Not astronomical or anything like that, but you know, we live in quite a modest 2-bed new build mid-terrace house, well insulated. Our energy bills haven't gone up yet, but I don't have loads of money, certainly not. I definitely don't have enough money to go out and get pissed. But every time I do, it's at least 100 quid, and then you taxi home on top of that from the likes of Durham, 50 quid, and then you wake up the morning after and you just you feel shit because you can't be the parent that you want to be. You don't just get up and do stuff. You lounge about, you sit and play video games. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that. Literally my probably main hobby. But that feeling of inadequacy, and I think someone's coined the term hangxiety. It's an excellent way to describe it, you know. But couple in there the fact that you've 150 quid down, you'd rather have spent that doing something with your family. You do really think, I mean, fuck's the point? You really, really do think, what the fuck's the point? So I've just stopped. I mean, I will drink, I do drink now and again. I had a couple on Christmas Day, but gone are the days of getting absolutely slaughtered on Christmas Day with the family. I love it, but it's just not worth it. Just stopping here, there's a couple of people above, up ahead. I look like a bit of a weirdo. I'm going to pause here and put it on the front camera so you can really take in the gates of the reservoir. It's a gorgeous place. 2 minutes. Just walking down to the sluice gates now. You can hear the water thundering down. It's good to see. Obviously in the northeast we've got a lot of water, I suppose you can say. It's not really, we're quite a sparsely populated, I suppose, aren't we? So what water we do have doesn't need to serve quite as many as it does in other parts of the country. Now, what that means, that our reservoirs don't get all that empty. I know that it's been an issue in the southwest in particular. I used to work in the water industry. Saving water was the name of the game, but I think we'll be a little bit jealous of what we've got up here. I think I saw, you'll have to pardon the name, I forget, of the reservoir in the southwest, the main one, but I saw Southwest Water posted on LinkedIn that it's back up to 30% due to the work of the residents down there. But you know, Tunstall and Northumbria water running on 100%. Look at that. Sorry, southeast England. So I'll just cut you there. I need to go up a bit of a hill. If anyone would really want to listen to my guts being spewed up, walking up the hill. I turn this autofocus thing off. So annoying. But yeah, just walked up from Tunstall there. Some of the houses and I suppose the waterworks just down there at some point. Yeah, basically just walk on this side of the beck all the way up that way, over that crescent, through a few cow fields, through the beautiful Holywood, Walsingham, some very, very nice houses up there, and yeah, check in when I've got something good to see. So yeah, there's a little bit more about me. You've just heard me little ramble or rant about the sluice gates down there and water scarcity, which is becoming increasingly concerning in the UK. More prominently, obviously, down in the south and the north, but it's going to factor everyone in eventually. I think most people probably know, but it's going to be a lot more valuable than gold one day, shall we say, is H2O. But yeah, I suppose that interest in those kind of things and environmental issues is my forte, if you can say that. I will currently work within the energy efficiency sector, in the retrofit sector for a house association up in the northeast. Fantastic job, like I say. Get to do some really good and worthwhile work, which I think everyone wishes to do. You know, helping people in society who aren't as fortunate as myself, and perhaps other people watching this video and that kind of thing, but at the same time delivering on environmental goals and that kind of thing. I mean, a big part of my role is our net zero plans, and as a housing association of circa 14,000 homes, that's no mean feat, but it's a responsibility and a real tangible thing that I can get my teeth behind, get my teeth into and really get behind, because it's good work, you know, it's important work, and that's what's so interesting to me, is doing something that's worthwhile and doing something that you enjoy. So many people don't get to do that. I finally found it. I was a teacher, actually, before this. Trained to be a teacher. I was a geography teacher in a secondary school. And it was amazing. Probably the best job I'll ever will have. In terms of, really getting behind what you do and enjoying it and stuff like that. But unfortunately, commercially, and this isn't, easy to admit, commercially it was not a good decision. I've got a degree in environmental sciences and a master's in energy and environmental management, and those qualifications unlock the door to jobs and careers that just vastly outweigh teaching, unfortunately. But it's a real shame because I really miss my form class, my tutor group. Really miss a lot of the kids that I taught. It really is. I've got so much respect for teachers. It's crazy, really, because they do so much and yet receive so little in terms of recognition, in terms of pay, in terms of just everything, really, the shat on. And I wasn't personally, I never really experienced that on a personal level, but I saw it happen a lot. I witnessed it. People would bend over backwards for people within the school, the organisation, because most schools these days are businesses. And I think they've got to be to a certain extent. They've got to run efficiently. They've got to run well. But the educational institutions at the end of the day, so as well as all that, what they need to do is provide an excellent education for our next generation. Because without that, you wonder what's going to happen. Now, for me and my reasons for leaving teaching, like I say, were purely commercial. I also noticed within my own family life, this wasn't really working. I mean, I don't want to say it's a hard job, because Lord do I know there's some fucking hard jobs out there, but in terms of what it meant for my family, it was me up at kind of 5 o'clock every day, out the house for 6, get to school 6:30, planning, marking, everything really, printing, just making sure your resources are all ready. That the anxiety of feeling unprepared for a lesson is just something else. I was unable to deal with it. I had to check my resources 5-6 times, make sure they were there, make sure I was fully prepared to teach the lesson. And then the kids would come in, and then you teach for the rest of the day. And I would do a little bit after school, and get my a little bit of marking done. But and I mean this for the current job as well. The second that I'm no longer required to be there, I'm out, because the family means everything to me. I need to go home. I need to go and pick George up from nursery. Well, he wasn't even in nursery when I was teaching, because try and find a nursery that you can get them in at, 5 o'clock in the morning. It just doesn't happen. It really doesn't exist. So George used to be looked after by my brother-in-law John, and that was amazing. and I was so grateful for him doing that. He saved us a lot of money at the time, but you know, since changing jobs, I've now earning that little bit more, so I can get him in nursery, and it's done him the world of good. He's come on so much, and that's no disrespect to John, but it's a curriculum. It's a real lessons. You have observations, and they tell you what they've done well and what they've learned, and all that kind of thing. It's great. Oh, it's a bit squelchy here. But no, I very much miss that. I really do miss teaching. I need to scratch that itch in some way. I just don't know how. I've contemplated tutoring. Jesus, the dogs tie me in nuts. Contemplated tutoring. Contemplated setting up a kind of a YouTube and recording lessons, because that was invaluable, you know. Things like the Oak Academy during lockdown was bloody amazing. Resources for teachers, and obviously they're free for schools, but I want it to be free for the kids. I contemplated, and I may well still do this, you know. I might, but it'll take some doing, some organising, and some recording, and just work. It's going to take a lot of work. Go on, dog. Sit. Go on. Jump. Good girl. But yeah, I really need to scratch that itch. I haven't found a way to do it. Not particularly bothered about commercialising it and making money. To me, teaching wasn't really about that. It's about doing something worthwhile, doing something that you enjoy. But you know, we all need to make money in this world, and if we can, we will. So that's a stile behind. Right. I'm going to navigate this fence, so I'm going to be over and out for a bit. So, didn't come down that path, just kind of winged it through them woods. Saw loads of rabbits though, and this div tried to catch every one of them. You ain't never caught a rabbit, would I love you? So yeah, there's the road up to Tunstall. The farmhouse just to the top of there, which is where we walked on the way in. Kind of went across them fields and down. Yeah, you almost follow this path of the road all the way along, just in fields rather than concrete, which is good for me. So yeah, kind of back to teaching. It feels really good to get this off, you know, my chest. I think I feel like it's almost going to keep me accountable for it, because I really, really want to do it. And I'd be lying, you know, if I said that I didn't have time now. That's been the excuse in the past. Yes, parenthood is incredibly time consuming, but George is pretty good at going to bed now. He's usually in bed by about 8. And once he's asleep, he's asleep. So I've got those few hours, but what it normally turns into is just playing video games. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm really not saying that that's not a valuable use of my time. I've got a stressful job, and I'm a parent, and you know, you need like to do things that are slow and that help you wind down, but I don't know. Lately I've just kind of felt like I'm just doing it because I should be and because it feels good. There's so many things that I could be doing. I don't want to sound like fucking Andrew Tate. No, you've got to work for your legacy and all that kind of shite. Do you, man? But I do want a more comfortable life. That's the goal. I don't want a lot of money. I just want to be comfortable. I want to live somewhere like this. Not have to travel half an hour, 40 minutes to get there. I love where I live. It's certainly not city. It's very much suburban, but like I said earlier, it's almost funny that when you're a kid, all you want to do is escape the little village you live in or the little town. And here we are, back here 3 days after Christmas, walking in the pissing rain with a dog because you love it and you'd rather be nowhere else. Obviously I'd rather George be with me, and friggin' hell I cannot wait until he is. Don't want to wish his life away, but that boy and me are going to have some adventures, man. It's just the dream, having kids and growing up. I cannot wait, but right here, right now is where I want to be. Just me and the dog in the piss and rain. But yeah, back to this thing. What I basically plan on doing is, I'm going to have to plan lessons first, record them, record me teaching them, but also plan some resources or some kind of formative assessment afterwards, so that, you know, if someone does stumble across them, uses them as a revision tool, you've got some kind of way of assessing their learning and assessing whether they've actually understood what they've learned, or hopefully learned, you know. I mean, it's funny, training the teacher's been the greatest asset I now have as a professional. It's given me the ability, I know I said earlier about working in a working men's club, giving me the ability to talk to anyone and whatnot, but really it's teaching, training to teach, because what it does is it changes your psyche. I think any uni student will tell you that you do a presentation, you don't just read off the slides. I think you probably learned that in secondary school, to be honest, but the amount that you see it in professional training. You know, I was doing some training a few weeks ago to become a DEA, domestic energy assessor, because I don't actually hold that qualification yet. I've got everything, but I've got a very sound understanding of RD SAP and SAP and energy efficiency measures and what makes a house more efficient, what doesn't, U values of walls and windows and timber and stone, and I get it, I understand it, but I don't have a professional qualification that says I don't. But I almost sat on this training. Come on, dog. Ciao. Good girl. And this bloke was just terrible. He just read off the slides. Never seen anything like it. It was 3 days worth of it as well. I just genuinely couldn't believe it. But like I say, training to teach has really taught me how people learn. Oi, look at her, she's chasing bloody sheep, man. How people understand what the importance of modelling something and not just, you know, reading it, telling someone something. You can tell someone something 5 times and they'll not understand it. If you model it, take them through it, they'll get it eventually. But then you've also got differentiation, and that was another thing that this trainer that just didn't understand. I mean, obviously I'm in a privileged position going into that training, you know. As I said, I've worked in the industry for a number of years. I've got a really sound understanding of it, but there was people in that training that were streets ahead of me, and some people that were significantly lesser able or just needed a bit more time. But there was no differentiation. There was no, right, if you lot understand this, I'll set you off with a task to crack on with, while I do a bit of one-on-one with the people that don't, or the people that need a little bit more time. None of that. And I think without that understanding of training and teaching, the nuances of learning and metacognition and just pedagogy in general, I wouldn't understand that. So what I'm really looking forward to in my current role is leading on some training. You know, we've got surveyors across the organisation that aren't DEs. They don't need that qualification because a lot of our data is RD SAP, but they could bloody collect that. What type of window is it? What's the build? Is it solid wall? Is it cavity? Is it what? You know? And I feel like I could train on stuff like that. But other stuff as well, you know. Getting away from the point, but yeah, please hold me accountable. Just what I'm saying, I want to set up this online space, whether it be YouTube, somewhere like that, where resources are free and free forever for kids to revise. And it's going to be geography, that's all I know. I'm interested in history, but I haven't got a Scooby. Looking for a lovely field of sheep at the minute. You just can't beat it, man. Although I think I've strayed from the path. Well, there isn't really a path. I think it's that up there. I think we need to go through that gate. Let's try and get there. I think this might be it for now. Thanks for listening if you've made it this far. Hopefully this can be something I can keep up with, because it's actually been quite soothing talking through some stuff. And it's not very deep, is it? It's just work and getting to do stuff you like to do, but it's helped. So thanks. I'll see you later.